Coming up on Citrus TV News, a new program to help students understand Islam. Citrus TV's Adam Unger has more.
And more students here on campus will be able to play pickup basketball. We'll tell you which gym is opening up for students to enjoy.
And another school shooting took place this morning, this time in an LA middle school. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Last night, Mayor Ben Walsh gave his State of the City address. Walsh was frank in discussing Syracuse's economy. He said the city's financial situation is not good right now. Syracuse has a projected $16.5 million deficit this year and an operating budget of around $290 million. Good evening, I'm Conor Wight.
And I'm Jack Watson. Walsh announced he's created a fiscal advisory committee to develop recommendations for the 2019 budget. Walsh wants to grow the city's economy and its workforce to increase revenue and get the city back on track. The Carmelo K. Anthony Basketball Center is offering open basketball hours this semester. Starting today, students can use the center Tuesday and Thursday nights from 8 to 11 for pickup basketball. Currently, open basketball is also available at the Women's Building and Flanagan Gymnasium, and SUID is required to play on the courts. And a new Muslim chaplain has started a new program on campus. The first ever session of the Understanding Islam program took place last night. Citrus TV's Adam Unger spoke with the chaplain about the program's origins and long-term goals.
In the basement of Hendricks Chapel, you can find Amir Durich's office. This academic year is his first as the Muslim chaplain at Syracuse University, and he feels right at home.
I always was inspired with the energy and enthusiasm that young people have. I think this is the right place.
Part of Durich's chaplaincy is the Understanding Islam program. It's a 6-week course that started on Wednesday. It's the first of its kind at SU, and Durich has big plans for its future.
So this is the first time we're offering it in this form, and I'm hopeful we'll be able to have it annually.
A Pew study from 2009 found that a better understanding of Islam led to 3 times as many positive opinions of the religion. Educating non-Muslims is a part of Durich's goal.
My intention was to give our neighbors opportunity to really add to their knowledge and to develop relationships with Muslims, to get to know somebody who is Muslim.
Every Wednesday in February, the program will be taking place here in Classroom 004 in Byrd Library. Some of the topics will include the 5 pillars of Islam, the 6 beliefs of Islam, and a lot of the participants are looking to reconnect with the religion.
My parents came to the U.S. as Bosnian refugees, so I just wanted to find out more about my parents' religion.
I want to be connected with the people who are interested, who are experts, who know about Islam as a real religion, not how it's interpreted.
On March 7th, Durich will take participants to a Syracuse mosque to conclude the program. I'm Adam Unger, Citrus TV.
The next session of the Understanding Islam program will take place on Wednesday, February 7th at 6 p.m. in Byrd Library.
Syracuse University is known for its architecture program. Citrus TV reporter Greg Bradbury is live in studio to tell us how one professor is finishing up his time here at SU.
Well, architecture professor Randall Corman is in his final semester here at Syracuse after 41 years with the university. He's been a part of a number of beneficial programs to students and is not finished just yet.
Over Professor Corman's time here, he has filled just about every position in the school. Of his many accomplishments, he's most proud about the Italian Foreign Studies program he set up and had this to say about it.
And seeing the students coming back from Florence, and asking them how was it, and they just say, without exception, it's almost impossible to find a student that would tell you they didn't have a good time, a good experience on one of those programs.
Many architecture students across the country don't ever have the chance to go abroad and look at the buildings they've seen in textbooks. However, Professor Corman wanted to make sure they are taking in what they were learning about.
There is no substitute for direct experience. I can show
The lecture series kicked off on Tuesday and continues through April 10th. You can find the full schedule of speakers on the Syracuse Architecture's website.
Thanks, Greg. Today, New York school districts rankings came out. Among the list, the Syracuse City School District was number 19 on the list. They had an overall grade of a C according to the new poll. 6 school districts across the central New York region cracked the top 50. The rankings were based on criteria such as graduation rate, overall GPA, and other factors. And New York State inmates are each expected to receive tablet computers by the end of 2018. The devices will help inmates communicate with relatives, adapt to technology, and advance their education. Officials say there will be no cost to taxpayers or inmates for the tablets. The company JPay is providing the tablets for free, but hope to make money off of non-educational purchases. And many people love the I Love NY highway signs, but apparently the Federal Highway Administration does not. That's because they're withholding $14 million in funding because of the signs. Officials say the signs violate federal traffic laws and pose safety risks. The State Department for Transportation is working on a resolution to this matter.
One of Governor Cuomo's former top aides is in bigger trouble than previously thought. Joe Percoco's trial revealed that he continued to use his government-run offices in New York City and Albany as a private citizen. Percoco's use of the office breaks both legal and ethical rules against using government property for a campaign. Percoco is currently on trial for charges of bribery and extortion. And that story isn't the only reason Governor Cuomo and the judicial system are making headlines. Today, Governor Cuomo is launching a campaign to restore fairness in New York's criminal justice system. The 5-pronged reform package will reshape New York's bail system, ensure access to a speedy trial, and improve disclosure of evidence in the discovery process. The legislation will also implement new initiatives to help individuals transition from incarceration to their communities. And you know, yesterday we had a brief period of really heavy snow that left a couple of inches on the ground and a lot of wind, but today it seems a lot different in the 40s.
Yeah, this week has been brutal in terms of weather. Let's hope that today's, more warmer temperatures are here to stay. To find out more, we go to CitrusTV weather anchor Nicole Weaving. Nicole?
Well, I'm sorry to break the news to you, Connor, but this was really the only nice day that we're going to be seeing for a while. It's currently about 44 degrees outside, but tonight it will get down to a low of about 12. It's currently raining, but the rain could turn to snow as the temperature starts to drop. We could expect almost about 1 to 3 inches, and that wind will really start blowing some of the snow that's still sitting on the ground. And tonight, as I mentioned, that rain is going to turn to snow, and we're really going to see that move in all through the night and into tomorrow. Now, this is not the only snow we'll be seeing. I'll fill you in on how much snow we'll expect this weekend in my full weather forecast.
Thanks, Nicole. Coming up after the break, more Russian Olympians are being allowed into the Olympics.
And a school shooting took place this morning in Los Angeles. We have updates when we return.
I see you. Let's go. Let's buy. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, bro. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul. But I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
One person is in critical condition after a shooting at a Los Angeles middle school this morning.
Police say a report of shots fired at the school came just before 9 this morning. Two 15-year-old suspects were injured. Students were injured but are expected to survive. The school remained on lockdown until 10 this morning.
Police say a 12-year-old female suspect is in custody.
And a controversial memo alleging the FBI abused their power in its surveillance of the White House is set to be released tomorrow. But House Intelligence Committee member Adam Schiff has accused Chairman Devin Nunes of sending a different version of the memo to the White House than what the committee approved.
Schiff is calling the situation deeply troubling and is asking for the memo to be withdrawn. The FBI did not want the memo released, saying the alterations could be dangerous. And the Department of Housing and Urban Development announced today they are giving $1.5 billion in aid to Puerto Rico.
This announcement comes a day after the Federal Emergency Management Agency halted new shipments of food and water to the island.
The aid will further help Puerto Rico recover from the damages caused by Hurricanes Irma and Maria last year. Much of the island is still without power.
And almost 30 Russian athletes can now go to the Olympics.
The athletes were previously banned for life until the Court for Arbitration of Sport upheld their appeals. They can now seek to be cleared to join the over 150 Russian athletes competing under a neutral flag.
Another 11 athletes are still banned from this year's games, but their lifetime bans were lifted. The 2018 Winter Games start in just over a week.
And the Australian government is investigating the discovery of thousands of top-secret cabinet documents after they were sold accidentally in second-hand furniture.
The documents were recovered by the country's national broadcaster and were secured by Australian intelligence officers early this morning.
The Broadcasting Corporation still has access to the documents, and talks with the government are underway with how to proceed.
And last night, Poland's Senate has passed a controversial bill making it illegal to accuse the country of complicity in the Nazi Holocaust.
The bill states that anyone that publicly states that the Polish nation was responsible for Nazi crimes is punishable by up to 3 years in prison.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has described the bill as, quote, an attempt to rewrite history and deny the Holocaust.
And the boiler room of a building exploded in Turkey's capital earlier today. The building had been empty except for security personnel.
First reports of the explosion say no one was injured. The building is heavily damaged and debris is covering the street.
The cause of the explosion is unknown at this time.
And in the wake of South Africa's 3-year-long drought, Cape Town has implemented new emergency water restrictions before the city runs out of water. Now residents are being asked to restrict their water usage to only 50 liters a day.
Scientists are predicting that the city will run out of water by April 16th. Residents are subject to fines and their installation of water management tools if they do not adhere to the restrictions. Tonight, former Nickelodeon star Josh Peck will be speaking on campus. Citrus TV reporter James Groh will tell us more about the event.
And now you have even more opportunities for free coffee. We'll tell you the new program Starbucks is introducing after the break.
Look at our Doppler radar once again. You can really see all of this snow moving in as it's moving towards the east, and that's really going to continue into tomorrow until about 6 p.m. But if we take a look at our temperatures across the rest of central New York, it's about 40 in Penn Yan, a colder 39 in Binghamton, and about 42 in Rome. But in terms of tomorrow, it's really going to be quite chilly, not getting above 15 degrees. It'll be about 12 when you wake up, and as I mentioned, there's really going to be a lot of wind, about 15 to 20 miles per hour, and about a 75% chance of snow. Really, that snow will not end until about 6 p.m. tomorrow night. And in honor of Groundhog's Day tomorrow, you shouldn't expect Puxatawny Phil to see his shadow. It's going to be an average of about 20 degrees most of February. That's really below the average that we've seen for most of February. And then when it comes to this weekend, Super Bowl weekend, we're really going to see some lower pressure areas moving in. So that's going to cause the temperature to really fluctuate a lot and bring some more snow along with it. Specifically on Sunday, you see up where we are here in Syracuse, it's going to really bring lots of snow, probably somewhere between 3 to 6 inches throughout the day. Then when it comes to our 5-day forecast, it'll be about 15, as I said, a high on Friday. And then when it comes to Saturday, it'll be about 28 degrees with a low of 23. Sunday, as I mentioned, that's when we'll see some more snow moving in. Monday, a cloudy day, but then the sun will pop back out again on Tuesday. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nicole. Everyone had their favorite TV show character when they were a kid. It was always a dream to meet your favorite character. Well, now Citrus TV reporter James Groh tells us how that dream is becoming a reality.
Coolest from your favorite childhood sitcom, Drake and Josh. Well, Thursday night, half of that duo, Josh Peck, will be talking to students here at SU.
We're going to obviously hit your Drake and Josh questions that everyone wants answered. We're going to touch on that. But we also want to make sure we give him attention of his current career.
Syracuse Hillel organized the event to bring Peck to Goldstein Auditorium. They say that while Peck will have important things to discuss, it also hits a nostalgic note for all students that will attend.
Because of the role he played in so many students' lives growing up, I think that, like what we've heard around campus, as everyone's getting so excited for this event, is that he was someone they grew up watching. It's like he was a brother to them.
Hillel hopes that this is a good foot going forward to do more things like this in the future and to increase its presence on campus. James Groh, Citrus.
So far, over 1,000 tickets have been sold. You can contact the Syracuse box office if you haven't yet purchased a ticket.
And a NASA satellite that has been missing since 2005 has just been rediscovered, but NASA were not the ones who found it. Scott Tilley, an amateur Canadian astronomer, was searching for traces of another space mission when he stumbled upon signals belonging to the Image satellite. NASA lost contact with Image in 2005 and declared the mission over in 2007. NASA will try to adapt the older software to see what they've missed while the satellite was gone. And a team of international researchers have taught a female whale how to mimic human speech. Wiki the whale was able to learn human speech by imitating its trainer at an aquarium in France. Wiki is able to repeat a handful of words, including hello, bye-bye, one, two, and Amy. A paper published Wednesday considered this to be a world first.
And drone caching drones will be at the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea to assist with security. The drones will cast nets over any dangerous-looking vehicles in the air that approach the Olympic grounds. One of the fears of using drones is an unauthorized drone carrying a bomb, but a combat unit has been created to fight against any weaponized drones. And Starbucks is adding a new item to its inventory, but it isn't something you can find on the menu. The coffee company now has its own Visa credit card. The card can be used at Starbucks as well as other stores that accept Visa. Customers can earn points, also called stars, that can be redeemed for drinks and food at the coffee store. The card holders will have to pay an annual fee of $49.
Coming up in sports, Syracuse men's basketball put its 3-game winning streak on the line versus Georgia Tech last night, but did some injury concerns catch up with the Orange? Meanwhile, the women's team puts its own streak on the line tonight, and it's even more impressive than the men's. News Live at 6. We'll be right back.
brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm JD Rachi with sports. Heading into last night's game against Georgia Tech, there were a whole lot of questions for SU basketball. Would Matthew Moyer play after missing Saturday's game versus Pitt with an ankle injury? How severe was Howard Washington's knee injury in practice on Monday? And could the Orange extend its 3-game winning streak against the Yellow Jackets in Atlanta? Well, the short answer to that last question mark for Syracuse is a resounding no. 55-51, the final score from McCamish Pavilion in Atlanta. An absolute defensive struggle from the Peach State. The Yellow Jackets knocked down just a third of their shots on the night. And if you think that's an ugly number, get a load of this. SU shot an even worse 30% from the field, a mark that ties the Orange's worst shooting performance of the season. A couple of small bright spots, though, for Syracuse. Tyus Battle was his usual high-scoring self, a 19-point outing for the sophomore. And the Orange knocked down 80% of their foul shots, well above its season average of 73%. And if falling below 500 in the ACC wasn't bad news enough for SU fans, Jim Boeheim announced post-game that freshman guard Howard Washington would miss the remainder of the season with that knee injury he sustained in practice on Monday. That leaves Tyus Battle, Frank Howard, and Braden Bayer as the only scholarship guards on the Syracuse roster. And even worse for the freshman Howard, he's already played too many games this season to qualify for a medical redshirt. The men's team will hit the floor again on Saturday versus Virginia in the Dome, but the women's team is back inside the Loud House tonight to host Virginia Tech, and there's more than just a win on the line in this one. Coach Q's squad has yet to lose a game inside the Dome this season, a perfect 11-0 mark that makes them one of just 10 teams in the entire country to have that kind of record at home this season. The Orange is coming off a big blowout win over Boston College on Sunday, and Digna Strautmane looked magnificent, a career-high 25 points and 5 threes in the win for the freshman. She looks to put together another strong performance tonight at 7. And in the NHL, the Sabres continue a 5-game homestand tonight when they host the Panthers. Buffalo is coming off a 3-1 loss to the Devils in the first game of the home stretch on Tuesday, and that loss at the Key Bank Center is nothing new for Phil Housley's bunch. Of their 14 wins this season, only 6 have come at home. They'll look to give home fans something to cheer for a change when the puck drops at 7 o'clock. And elsewhere in Empire State hockey, the Rangers return home tonight for a quick 1-game homestand. New York welcomes the surging Toronto Maple Leafs to Madison Square Garden tonight at 7. The Leafs have won 3 straight heading into the matchup, while the Rangers are losers of 3 of their last 4. Meanwhile, just down I-95, the Devils are back at the Prudential Center to host the Flyers. Philadelphia has dominated the series so far this season, posting a perfect 2-0 record and outscoring New Jersey 8-4 in those wins. Puck drop is scheduled for 7. And in local hockey, the accolades continue to roll in for a Syracuse Crunch rookie. Forward Mitchell Stevens was named the AHL Rookie of the Month for January earlier today. The 20-year-old netted 8 goals, including 3-game winners during the year's first month. The award comes just days after Stevens played in the AHL All-Star Classic over the weekend.
JD, thanks so much for being with us tonight. Now, you mentioned Howard Washington on the men's basketball team out for the year. How badly does this hurt our tournament chances?
It hurts Syracuse's tournament chances a lot, Jack, and that's because there's just a serious lack of depth left on this team. As we said, only 3 guards left on scholarship, and one of those is Braden Bayer, who's only on scholarship because Gino Thorpe left the program. So Tyus Battle and Frank Howard are going to have to bear the brunt of the workload for the rest of the season at the guard position. Plus, there's been some injury concerns with Barama Sidibe and Matthew Moyer in the front court. A lot of depth issues with this Syracuse basketball team.
Now, moving over to women's basketball, as you said, they're in action in the Dome tonight. Can they stay undefeated?
I think they can and they should because, listen, this Syracuse women's basketball team, Coach Q gets them fired up every time they play in the Dome. Undefeated, as I mentioned, and they haven't lost a game inside the Dome since February of last year. Virginia Tech's not a powerhouse, so they should be able to pull out a win inside the Dome tonight.
Well, let's hope they keep that winning streak going. JD, thank you. And after the break, we will tell you what weather you can expect for the rest of the week. Don't go away.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
What are you, superheroes?
Just 4 brothers who hate bullies and love this city. Gear up, guys.
Nicole, some of my walks to class this week weren't the best. You know, snow whipping in my face, everything freezing. I also have another class tomorrow morning. Many other students do. What can we expect on our way to class tomorrow?
Well, I'm with you on in the same boat there. I have an early morning class, but definitely I would say watch the roads and the sidewalks. It's definitely going to be extremely slick conditions. Similar wind, as you were mentioning, that'll be blowing snow into your face as it continues to come down all day. It's going to be extremely gray, but at least when it comes to on Saturday, there will be a slight break in terms of the ability to have only partly cloudy skies, and then it'll be about 28 degrees high with a low of 23, so kind of on the warmer side even on Sunday when it's a high of 35, but that's when we'll definitely see some snow. And then when it comes to Monday, it'll be cloudy, but that snow will have subsided, but a lower 20 degrees. And then Tuesday, the sun will come back out again. Finally, those gray skies gone with a high of 31.
Well, thank you, Nicole. Well, that's all the time we have tonight on Citrus TV News, live at 6. Be sure to follow us on social media, follow us on Twitter at CitrusTV News, and continue to watch our programs on OTN at channel 14.1.
And I'm Jack Watson. Have a great night, Syracuse.
Good night.